Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to get us thinking and maybe looking at life in a little different perspective, which can be very helpful in terms of how we feel and what we do. So we have the Power of Surrender deck today, and we have a really powerful card, especially for a lot of us. And it's likely to be a little bit painful, but oh so freeing to deal with this card today. So I'm kind of smirking. So good morning, Joe Neal. You're the first one here today. I know you're gonna love this card. You and me, and there's a bunch of us in the Practical Rebels who are really gonna resonate with this card. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome. Getting ready to leave. Well, hopefully you can either listen later or listen on the fly, because it is a powerful card, and I think it is spot on for so many of us, and one of the primary ways we create our own misery. Isn't that an interesting idea? We create our own misery. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. I think you're gonna love this card also. Love it and hate it. So, and it's about a thought process. It's about a thought process. And to us, this thought process seems perfectly reasonable and rational. However, reasonable and rational leads us to suffer. In this case, it leads us to suffering. So, hope I've piqued your curiosity enough. Let's start with the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And notice how it feels when it flows in and out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Notice that flow is a natural state of being. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So our card deck for today, as I mentioned, is the Power of Surrender deck by Dr. Judith Orloff. And our card for today, you ready for this? Be prepared to feel a little twinge of, oh! Surrender your need to always be right. Blank, blank, blank. Surrender your need to always be right. And I hear the yeah buts already emanating forth, right? Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome. However, I want you to, as best you can, stay in that open state of receiving, allowing. Allow this message to settle in. You can decide at any point here how you feel about it, but just be in your curious observer, allow the message to land, try it on, pivot in front of the mirror a little bit with it, see what you think, see how you feel, notice. Good morning, Beth, welcome, and then make some decisions, all right? So surrender your need to always be right. No yeah buts. Just breathe and listen. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. Good morning, Abigail. It will also reduce your suffering. Why? Because when you demand that everyone see things the way you see them, you are setting yourself up to suffer, because they are not going to. And thank you, Cindy, for posting today's card. And our rule of thumb here, because I know all the yeah buts. I've used all the yeah buts. I've been in love with all the yeah buts. Yeah, but I'm right. I know I'm right on this one. And if they just changed this thing, they'd be a whole lot happier, and I'd be a whole lot happier. Perhaps. Rule of thumb. Is the other person even remotely interested in hearing your opinion on this? Or are they wedded to their own opinion, their own ways of doing things, etc., much like us? If the former, and there's some willingness to hear you out, I would speak my truth quietly, calmly, as directly as possible, and then let it go. Because they get to decide. This is their life. This is their earth walk. Good morning, Janine. The things that they might do that you perceive as wrong might be exactly the things they need to do to gain a life lesson that they came here to gain. Who are you to decide that they shouldn't do this? Nope, you gotta let this stuff go. Surrender your need to always be right. Allow. Even saying your opinion in that way, well, I can see why you're thinking that might work. Would you like to hear what I think? If they say no, shut up. Don't offer an unwanted opinion. All it does is damage the relationship. All it does is damage the relationship. You certainly can use the things that come out of, yep, exactly. You certainly can use the things that come out of, now I'm blanking, hang on. Taking the war out of our words. Like you can use, well, you certainly can choose to do that. If you do this, I will do that. If you do this, I will do that. Just so you know where things stand. As neutrally as possible. Not the, why do you always have to do this stuff? No, not going to help. Not going to help. Surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. It can be saying, I wonder how that's going to work out. Very neutrally. I wonder how that's going to work out. That might give them a little pause. Well, why'd you say that? Well, I just wonder, because my thought would be blah, blah, blah. Then you shut up and you let it go. You also do not take that fatal step after the fact of I told you so. No, 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 don't go there. No, I told you so's. They aren't helpful. They aren't helpful at all. And all it does is alienate you from the person, making them even less likely that they will ever listen to your opinion. Ever. So, letting go of the need to be right. Again, sometimes you can say, well, I have some thoughts to share on that if you want to hear them. If they say, okay, don't pontificate forever. Be short, succinct, concise. Combine those two. To the point and let it go. Go ahead and do whatever you're going to do and we'll see how it turns out. But again, no, I told you so. Is this hard? Yes, this is very hard because it's so much easier for us to clean in front of someone else's door than to clean in front of our own door. But keep in mind, good morning, Bobby, welcome, welcome. But keep in mind, when we're busy pointing at them, we have all these fingers pointing back at us. What are we not willing to look at in ourselves while we're busy taking someone else's inventory, right? It does not serve us or them for us to be taking their inventory. It does serve us and them when we look at ourselves. Okay, what might need cleaning up in my own front yard? All right? Surrendering that need to always be right. Make it an opinion. Well, I look at it this way. They then have the opportunity to say, well, I look at it that way. All right, so I see it this way, you see it that way. On we go. What do you stand to lose? I'd love to hear some thoughts on this. There's 9 of you on here. I'd love to get some thoughts on this. What do you stand to lose by letting go of the need to be right? What do you stand to lose? Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you're here. By letting go of your need to be right. Think about that. My guess is a lot of what's coming up in your mind when you really look at it through curious observer eyes, you're like, well, that isn't worth having a fight. That isn't worth, good morning, Tara, glad you're here. That isn't worth being so determined that we are right about things. Yes, exactly. When we're locked into this is the way, the truth, and the light, we miss all the other stuff around us. There's more than a 360-degree view. There's above, below. Stand in some of those different positions. Try them on. See what you notice. So this works especially beautifully with your children, right? So if you're having one of those parent-child wars, even if your kids are adults, right? We just got done with the 4-day silent treatment. Put yourself in a position. Put yourself in their shoes. what might be going on. What might be the reason they're adopting this position? What would lead somebody to think this way? Yes, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Yes, yes, yes. I think politically right now, this can be so helpful. What might lead somebody to believe the opposite opinion of what I believe? What might lead somebody to believe that? And do not say because they're stupid. Do not say because they haven't examined their beliefs. Do not say any of that stuff. Try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Why might someone hang on to that particular point of view? Work to understand. Work to understand. Why? Because when you can understand why someone might think the way they think, even though you don't go along with that thought process, it can help you give them grace, help you allow for grace in your relationship with them when you give them opportunity. Yes, that's a piece of it. That's a piece of it. And it's all the stories that get created between here and here that never get verbalized, but they're operating. And you can see those stories operating. This must mean X. I'll give you one for today. He has a physical therapy evaluation. Somehow he has linked up in his mind a physical therapy evaluation and losing his ability to drive. Someone taking his license away. Yep. How those two came to be wedded, I have no idea. But they have. So, knowing that, again, offering grace, allowing and working to maybe diffuse a little bit of that if possible. There may not be opportunities to do that, but there might, so we'll see. But so interesting to watch what's going on. What's going on? So, how will you apply this to your life? How will you apply surrendering your need to always be right? Can you think of a person in your world where this gets activated all the time? All the time. Maybe that's where you start. Absolutely. Absolutely. And loss, because what is a driver's license? Freedom, liberation, the ability to move about your world with ease, right? Yes. So how are things going in your world, Cindy, in terms of the storm? I don't watch news, so I don't get a whole lot of updates. Anywho, been thinking about you and praying for you. Yes. So, who in your life can you see this operating with? How will you apply this information? How will you free yourself? It says the word surrender, but you can put in there, free yourself from the need to always be right. Free yourself. Your life is going to be a whole lot less tumultuous when you can allow others to be where they're at. Yep. So that's the practice for today on this fine Thursday. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. We'll send you all blessings in the south and along the east coast, because holy buckets, it doesn't look pretty. All right. Hang in there, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.